Well, I sure stirred up the hornet's nest with the last video, even though the fact that I said that you don't have to agree or disagree with me is a not so subtle hint that I already know the topic is polarizing, that I'm already 10 steps ahead of you on whatever it is you're about to say. But you had to say it anyway. You were triggered because you're polarized, and polarity only hears what it wants to hear, as they somehow missed the part where agreeing with me was optional. So those people need to go all the way back to the very first lesson on this channel and start over. Because if you don't get the principle of polarity down, then the rest of it doesn't matter. Just even having a conversation with you would be a waste of time with such selective hearing. This need to defend your position as if what I said was a personal attack against you. It's not. That's just your ego telling you that it is. You know, that thing you're supposed to be trying to free yourself from. And you see it all the time where if you disagree with someone's beliefs, they take it as a personal attack against them. These so-called demons are not demons. Western traditional bullshit, aka Abrahamic religion, has perverted and demonized many beings that were once worshipped as gods because they held keys to power and freedom that was against the oppression that was being enforced by worshippers of Yahweh. Who are these spirits in rebellion against? The Abrahamic deity of lies, Yahweh. Consider Baal, who the Canaanites worshipped, disagreed with Israel, and therefore is considered a demon. Western religion will demonize anything that leads to any true understanding or power in the individual. The false god Yahweh will be drained of his unworthy power, and the people who created these gods in the first place will regain their power. Alright, first of all, you need to chill out. You haven't gone full Dr. Evil yet, but I am getting that vibe from you. Secondly, I'm not familiar with Yahweh. I mean, I know the name, but I don't use it. I can't think of a single spell or ritual that uses that name. And you'd say, well, that's just the Abrahamic God, the God of the Bible. I still don't use that name. I mean, look, I could play word games too, which brings us to number 3. You think that by switching the word demon for God, they're not demons, they were once gods. You think that by switching those around that it somehow changes their nature. It doesn't. Tomato, tomato. Demons can be worshipped as gods. In the Words of Power program, I break down the word God to show that all it really means is to be released of earthly limitations, not bound by the physical laws that you and I have to adhere to. That's all it is. The commandment, thou shalt not have any other gods before me, admits right there that there are other gods. Whether it's a demon or God doesn't matter. It's just wordplay. Demon means rebellious spirit. God means release from earthly limitations. They're not mutually exclusive. Unless I point out the fact that virtually anything could be worshipped as a god, if you were inclined to do so. You also didn't bother to explain why the demon gods are forced to obey the false god, if it is indeed a false god. You are living in fear and spreading it. No, I'm not. It's quite the opposite, in fact. I don't fear the demons. Why? Because I do it by the book. If I didn't, then yeah, I would probably have good cause to fear the demons. Which is what they thrive on, by the way. That's exactly what they do. It's why they sometimes appear in monstrous forms, in an attempt to instill fear and intimidate the magician. Fear is one of their tactics. Also, your magic is based on Christian doctrines, which I don't subscribe to. No, they're not. It's based upon Solomon's magic, and Solomon wasn't a Christian. Solomon was Old Testament, and that's just Goetic evocation, which is a very small part of my practice. But the rest isn't Christian either. That's not to say that the New Testament doesn't have any value. It has tremendous value. You're trying to link me to your aversion to Christianity. Which, by the way, most Christians don't say Yahweh either. My father's a real hardcore Christian. I've never heard him say the word Yahweh. He'll just say God, which really isn't my first choice for the creator of all, for reasons already said. But back to the point, I don't really care what you subscribe to, other than this channel. Now, all three of these messages were from the same person, as if the demons needed him to stand up for them. I personally feel they're powerful enough to hold their own without having someone to defend them. But he's not really defending them, he's defending himself. See, it's the ego, the polarized ego. Now, people ask why I respond to the trolls. Typically, I do not. You just don't see 99% of them because I don't approve those comments. I only do so when there's something to be learned, when I feel that some value can be had from it. Frater, please help me. I think I may have fucked up. I didn't listen to you, evoked the demons, and now my life sucks. I've lost everything that I have, including my sanity, and now I'm being driven to kill myself. Well, yeah. This is why I say, don't mess around with demonic evocation. But if you must, to do it by the book. I don't do this just to fart around, to keep you from having a good time, or to trigger a buttload of butthurt hate mail, because I have nothing better to do. No, I say these things to keep people like this from having these type of situations occur. And when it comes to demonic evocation, you're really rolling the dice. Now, you may be one of the lucky ones who have never had anything bad happen to you. But then there are others who have their entire lives fall apart, which is typical. It's not that uncommon. In fact, it's the most common occurrence when it comes to demonic evocation. More common than being found with every bone in your body broken the next day, or being instantly attacked. No, the most common thing is to have everything in your life start to go wrong. Now, this person said that they didn't listen to me, but they listened to other people. My question then would be, where are these other people? Did you go to them for help? Why are they not helping you out of a situation that they helped get you into? I mean, they're the experts, right? Do they care enough to even assist you? Or are they too busy contacting the mothership? Oh, summon this demon without any protection. It'll be okay. It's perfectly safe. Unprotected evocation is a lot like unprotected sex. You can get lucky for a while, but when you do catch something, it can be a bitch to get rid of. Now, why would somebody want you to do that? Understand that when it comes to demonic pacts, usually a condition to get out of your pact is to get more people into a pact. So if you had a pact for your soul, you would have to get 50 more people into a pact for their soul. And you're just not going to be able to do that by telling them to evoke by the book. Now, I'm not saying that this is specifically the case with whoever told you to do this, but it is common, particularly in Hollywood circles and those who are seeking fame. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, you absolute must, you have to do an uncrossing. There's a video about it on my channel. You could also look it up on Google. You are going to have to acquire some supplies for it, but you do need to do it, and you need to do it as instructed. This will help get rid of any attachments to you. And then you want to proceed to cleanse your environment with holy water and sage, white sage, such as a smudge stick. And our good friend Uncle Birch over at the Sacred Grove has an excellent video on how to make your own holy water. He is one of the featured channels on my page at Freakville1309. You want to cleanse the entire house, especially any dark corners or cluttered rooms, while saying the same prayers that you were saying during the uncrossing. Very important. Do it while your parents are away, and if they complain about the smell of the sage, just tell them you were smoking pot. It'll go over a lot better than saying you're exorcising the demons, trust me. Now, when you cleanse the house in this way, it will either get rid of it or it'll piss it off. It's kind of like being in a fight. Some guys will go down on the first punch, others can take a hit. and you've just made them really mad. If it pisses it off, if it gets angry, if it riles it up, keep doing it. It's only mad because it doesn't like it. And when it doesn't like it enough, it'll eventually leave. Sure, it may cause havoc in the meantime, but it will leave, simply because it can't stand to be around it anymore. I would also get some other protection supplies, protection oil. There's cast-off evil supplies at Lucky Mojo, etc. Next, you gotta stop being so afraid. They thrive on fear. It only makes them stronger. In fact, a lot of times they'll just do things to freak you out. The vibrations of fear create an environment that is suited for them. So you gotta stop being so afraid and start to remove any emotional blockages that you may have. Because if you remove your emotional blockages and you find peace and joy and love, they can't get away from you fast enough. They will run the other way. They are suited for a fear environment, not a love environment, and those are the only two emotions that all other emotions are derived from: fear and love. That's not just me saying it, that has been scientifically proven. And lastly, you want to throw out all of your demonic books. I know you say that you are reluctant to do so because of how much you spent on them, but you also said that you're ready to kill yourself. So after weighing the options, it tends to come out on the side of throw out the damn books already. Doesn't mean you have to give up magic altogether, but if you're going to do it right. Pick up Liam Thomas Christopher's book. Work from there. The reason you throw out the books is because they have an attachment to them. If their sigils are in there, they have an attachment to them. Get rid of them. You took a risk and it cost you. May it serve as a lesson to learn from. And that's about all the time we have for today. I may leave the comments on this one closed so that we can move on to other things and not have to spend an entire month on it. And I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, here's another Mystery School lesson you may have missed. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more weekly content to help expand your knowledge. Thanks for all the love and support, and I'll see you next time. Take care.